Well, welcome to VO Journey Academy Live.
Hi, friends.
My name is Antoine.
Antonio.
Antonio Pecca. Yes, I
And
am.
I'm Gabby.
And that is Gabi.
Or as my cousins like to say,
Gabrielle.
Gabriela.
Gabrielle. Hello, everyone. We're already saucy today. It is good to see you. Happy, what is it, a Wednesday? What
Wednesday.
day is
It's
it?
hump day.
Hump day?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that Camel
Oh,
commercial.
it
You
was
know,
the
it was
best.
was I mean, those were just so much fun. I miss those commercials. Anyways, it is good to see you as always. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification.
Mm-hmm.
And but in the chat, say hello. Tell us where you're from. What's going on over there? Tell
Yeah.
us you're safe from the tsunami.
Yeah.
Scary, horrible thing. I mean, I think that was they said that was the one of the top what 5 or 10 recorded or it's like the biggest recorded um earthquakes in the last
Ever.
100 years or
I
something
think
like that
ever.
or
It was an
ever. That's
8.8.
crazy.
Like I think it's a
Oh
history
my goodness.
record breaking. Yeah.
Cat, be careful out there, cat sisters in Washington. I don't know. I
Mm,
haven't watched any of the news today, but I know yesterday there was like a tsunami warning, like the whole entire West
yeah.
Coast.
I checked with my girlfriend in Bremerton near Seattle and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, we're cool. It's fine.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's and also
Yeah.
Hawaii. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really, but anyways, it's good to see you guys. And today we have a great topic. Today we are going to be talking about what are we talking about, Gavin?
Well, we're picking up this discussion about tax week, and so a huge part of
Oh, yep,
taxes
yep.
for independent business owners is retirement, right?
Yes,
It's retirement planning. Yeah.
retirement planning, retirement
Mm-hmm.
planning. Also,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, just as quick note, because I do, yeah, oh, good, safe from the tsunami. That's good, cat. I should make sure as well. Everybody, make sure that we have like an exciting. There's a lot of exciting things going over at VO Journey Academy, and I think it's one of the things that we are doing as well as Gabby and I are discussing, and I think it's a lot of fun. It's not just that we love to learn because we do, and that's a huge part of what we do. But we also do a lot of activities. We have Academy Voices where you can come and be a part of it and earn money. But we also like to do projects and things as a group to grow as actors and voice actors and performers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know, scratch that creative itch, as well as possibly, we're Gabby now are big about collaborating together to make money. So, I think that it's just I just feel like I want to share that with you because there's so much to VO Journey Academy with us, all the coaches and everybody, that it's a great place to be for your business in general. I mean, I think that's what it's taken
It,
over. Don't you think so? I mean, like from a
oh,
business
man.
standpoint, I think it's really a good place to be.
It is, and I think to kind of further what you were saying, the creative thing, like I feel like such an old lady sometimes because I say this all the time, right? Like the things that we used to do back in the day to get started in this business, to learn our skills, to hone the craft, they don't exist anymore.
Hmm.
And so a group like a voiceover's journey allows for this sort of creative collective that
Hmm.
is also a learning opportunity, that also sparks new ideas, that gives beginners an outlet that doesn't really exist anywhere else anymore. And,
Right.
I've long said, something is missing. And I don't think it was until I fully got involved in this community that I realized that's it. That's the missing link.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love theater. I love performance. We as voice actors,
Yeah.
of course, everything we do, and I would say everything as an adult, we need to make money, of course, but you know,
Mhm.
throughout, as a creative, I mean, there's a part of us that that imagination, that creative side of us, we yearn for it. We want to express ourselves, to do those fun things. I mean, because really, I mean, in the end, that's what most of us did this.
Otherwise, why are you here?
Right,
Yeah.
to do this. So that's a very an exciting thing that we do. So anyways, I just wanted to share that because
Yeah.
that's we've got some really cool projects coming up. Our challenge for this month is almost, so we have a new challenge every month, and all that stuff. Well, anyways, let's get into. We were supposed to be talking about retirement.
Hmm.
So, retirement. Gabby, why don't you kick us off on, where to start with this and maybe or your ideas about it.
I will. Can I answer Strange Storm Cat's question real
Oh yeah,
quick?
yeah, yeah.
She
Oh wait a
said,
minute.
"Can we lurk?" She said, "I don't have my booth set up." Cat, you don't need your booth set up. It's
No,
it
not at all. You can
that
be
is
absolutely.
yeah, like the learning
We have
process
we
is
have many
not
people who join
yeah.
before they even before they even have a booth set up.
One of the brilliant things again about this community is before going out and investing money in a booth and money in an equipment in equipment, you can tap this collective to learn what you should be buying, why you should be buying it, when you should be buying it. Yeah, so for sure the learning starts well in advance of having a booth. That's not a requirement.
No, absolutely. Great
All right,
question.
so let's kick things off about okay, retirement. So
Yes.
first and foremost, get an advisor. For the love of God, get an advisor. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot do this on your own. It is so important that you have someone to help and guide the process. And the other thing is, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have or your perception of the situation planning starts from just that planning, right? It's in advance. And I
Yes.
see so many people go, "Oh, I don't have money to invest." So
Mm,
that's not the only thing that advisors do. Financial advisors help you to meet goals. They help you to set up various accounts for your future.
yes.
They help you with putting a plan in place. Okay.
Yes.
And so that's why they're so critical. So let's talk about all of the different things that business owners can take advantage of.
Can I say one thing real quick? Sorry, I want
Yeah.
to. So I think and right back to you, Gabby. But I think, and I don't want to make this too long. But many of us, or maybe many of us, have a sad story about our grandparents
Oh,
or parent,
I
who
know.
we saw during, they had such a vibrant life, and then because of their such a poor planning or whatever, everything was lost. I mean, it's happened to my
Yeah.
grandparents. They had done so much, and their house or their stuff, their retire, they had
Mhm.
such a, they just didn't plan for their retirement and and also what would happen after they sadly passed away. And we're always like, well, I don't want to talk about after I die, but the reality
Ugh.
is that this is all part of
Yes.
that situation, and if we don't plan for it, one day it'll just sneak up on you and it's too late.
It's
So
very
anyways,
true. And
like
it's well, but again, it's honest conversations that you have now and you kind of neutralize the stigma about them and then you move forward. And so,
mhm,
yes, death planning is a big part of the financial conversation, but it's an important one.
definitely.
I will never forget my financial advisor said one of the like best pieces of advice I ever received, and I just didn't realize how true it was until I started talking to my friends. My financial advisor said the number one barrier between Americans and retirement right now, the number one thing that is holding them back is car payments.
Mm,
And I went, get the hell out of here.
mhm.
And the more I started talking to people, the more I realized, holy shite, there's truth in that.
Yeah, they're no joke. I mean,
Yeah.
I will admit that it's pretty insane,
Yeah.
car payments. But okay, so let's
So, okay.
talk about. I have a favorite vehicle for what I do for
Mm.
retirement, but talk about some of the different things
I mean, there's
that
so
we do.
many. So, okay. First of all, there's whole life insurance that eventually
Mm,
pays you back and acts as a retirement fund and a death benefit. There are different types of investment. There's IRAs, there's SEP IRAs, Roth IRAs. There's also something called a solo 401k, which people often don't even know that they can have, where you and your own company can match and
mhm,
contribute to it.
mhm.
You also have HSAs and health spending
Yep,
accounts that you
yep.
can set up. There's so many things. And of course there's always mutual funds and investments and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. So so part of the reason we also want to talk about this week that all this makes sense
Mm.
to talk about too is because of taxes. So you have to
Mhm.
think that a lot of this has to also do with how does it play into our taxes and our liabilities for taxes and
Yes.
so forth. So a lot of these vehicles we're talking about, they go directly to you being able to invest money that you bring in and then not pay taxes on them, at least right now, right? So, for example, and a lot of some of these vehicles offer an insane amount of money that you can. Now, of course, you got to make the money, but a lot, but you can really invest. So I personally, for my business, so we're talking about an LLC, single member or sole proprietorship,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Is a SEP IRA. I really like that. The idea is here is that you can take money that you make and you can invest it, and I believe up to October of the year after that tax season. You can invest it up to
Mhm.
October, which is
Mhm.
amazing, right? So if it's like, so like right now you could still be investing for 2024.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so until October, I think it's October 15th or something like that. I'm not sure what's the
It's
exact
the
date.
extension filing date.
Right, it's extension
Yeah,
file date,
it's
right?
the extension filing date. And here's just so you guys know, this is where and why this is so important. And this is the way it was always explained to me. When your business is doing well, okay, and when you are
Mm,
making profit, if the difference is to pay the government tax money or to take that profit and put it into an account
yes.
that can accrue and make you more money later that will also benefit your retirement, why wouldn't you take option B?
No, absolutely. And I think part of what we're doing is educating people because a lot of people don't even know maybe this exists.
They don't, and
Hmm.
that's the crazy part. They get these tax bills and they just think, "Oh my god." Like, I have a friend who owns a company, and I'm always up his ass about this because I'm like, "You are constantly paying these huge tax bills. You could be putting this into your own accounts. For God's sake,
Absolutely.
talk to my financial guy."
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Like, why? Why would you give
And it's a,
them
it's a
money
lot
if
of
you
money.
don't
So I think we
have
we
to?
talking about so individually. So basically, it's like so for a SEP IRA, basically what it is it's either two ways. So one, it's a flat amount of money, or
Mhm.
it's like what is it, 2010 or
Up
20 up to.
to it's up to 25,000.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or it's a percentage. It's whichever
Mhm.
one
Mhm.
comes first. But
Yes.
but typically, it's the number I find
Mhm.
is what comes first.
Yeah.
And so like it's 25,000 if you're individual, or
Mhm.
it's like 39 or 40 if you're married. Okay,
Yes.
filing jointly. So but here's the thing, that is all money that you invest that you write off as an expense, right? And then all you do is when you go to take the money out in retirement, right? Like most other IRAs, then you'll pay taxes on it then. But the
But
point
you
is,
will
is
pay a
that it's your money accruing over all the time. And here's the thing, you don't pay on dividends. You don't pay on anything that accrues out or you managing. See, so
Mhm.
you can always hire someone to manage it for you, of course. And I highly recommend you
I
with
do.
your advisors and stuff do that. I personally love to do it myself, so that's just up to you, right? But the thing is that when you're moving money, when you sell stuff, you don't pay on this. You don't pay taxes on this. Where if you do it individually without this protections, you have to pay taxes on it.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? So, like for example, if you're in a drip, right, and you're getting dividends and you're investing, you have to pay taxes on them.
Mhm.
Okay, it's insane. So this is that's a great tool to use, and it's very easy to move money around. And I believe for the SEP IRA, it's like 59 and a half. You can take. Okay, so the interesting about SEP IRAs, I believe, again, this is talk to your advisors.
Mm.
Okay, I'm just saying, I believe you can, the money that you invest, you can take out any time. It's the money that you earn from the investments that, or it's 59 and a half you can take it. So one of them or
Something
something,
like
but
that. Yeah.
it's like you can't take out the earning, like the earnings without being
Right.
taxed down the
I'll be
road.
honest, I don't know because I don't touch it. I don't
Exactly,
touch it.
exactly,
I put
exactly.
it in there and I forget it even exists. And that's the ideal situation.
Yeah.
So again, things that you'll hear, and investors will tell you the hardest hurdle And I know this sounds like, if you're not yet making money or you're a new business owner, like this sounds insurmountable. It sounds huge, right? They say getting to the first 100,000 is the hardest part. And you might be sitting here going, Gabby, you're out of your freaking mind. No, because I started this stuff back in my 30s. I was late to the game as far as I was concerned. I started investing and doing all of this in my early 30s. Now, I tell my daughter who's in her 20s, I'm like, do it now. Because the longer you do it,
Oh yeah.
the better off you are. And yes, it's a game. It takes time, right? For many of us, when the stock market is volatile, it's like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't pay any attention to what's going on over there, and just let it ride.
Mhm.
Because historically it's about decades of time invested. But again, financial advisors help you to kind of steer the ship. And one of the first things that they do is they help you to get out of your debt. They help you to enact plans to eliminate debt, reduce debt, pay down things that are creating hurdles for you, and then make smarter money moves.
Oh yeah.
It's a process, and like anything else, right? It takes some adjusting on your part, it takes some discipline on your part. But again, if it comes down to paying taxes or helping yourself in the long run, it really is a no-brainer. I'll tell you something
Yeah.
else that's kind of a fun side note on this. I don't know about you, Anthony, but sorry, this is what my accountant does every year. He files the extension for me automatically on my taxes. And
Really?
yep, and his attitude, he actually does this with almost all of his clients. His attitude is really simple, and it's, again, makes perfect sense. Why would you pay the government money sooner than you have to?
Mm.
Why would you give them money? You know what I mean? If they
Oh yeah.
give you the extension, take the extension,
Yep.
because it's more money in your hands, it's more liquidity in your accounts for that period of time. It makes more sense. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that is actually logical. Um, so there's a lot of components to this that, you learn over the years, but ultimately it's not just about surviving the day to day. You get to a point where it really is about, how do I secure myself for later?
Oh yeah.
Um, we always have to think about, as business owners, right? What happens if something happens to me?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to my family, my assets, my,
Oh yeah.
everything I've worked for? Um, One of the weird things about our company, and unless you have a child that follows in your footsteps as a voice actor, this is a weird business. It's not like we can hand it down. It's not like okay, like Anthony has built something really cool with the publishing side of
Right, and
things.
that's a whole like I realize, my kids don't want to run. They want to do voiceover. I mean,
No, but there's a
but they could,
legacy
right,
component to
right.
some of what you've built.
Yes.
But for the majority of us, yeah, like our business is so hinged on us individually. It's not like we're not like a hardware store that you can pass
Right.
on to your children.
Right.
So we have to really think about the allocation of assets and those things later. Another thing, if you've ever dealt with it, is the unholy situation of probate. If somebody passes away without a fully executed will.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
for those of you who don't know, so if a business owner dies and doesn't have
Mm,
systems in place, the entire business is frozen and goes into a process called probate. And all of your money and all of your assets and all of the things that your dependents or your family could be taking advantage of is frozen solid until a probate court decides how it's going to be handled. And it sucks. It sucks for them. It sucks for everybody involved. It's time consuming, it's money consuming, and it's very avoidable. It's very, very avoidable if you have, again, your legacy, well, affairs. well planned out. Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, and I mean, this is this it's so interesting too, and because I've thought, just kind of what Gabby said, building Academy Voices was something that I realized that would could possibly anyone could run Academy
mm,
Voices. It was not a business. What we do as voice actors is solely dependent on us as performers,
yeah.
and I love voiceover, but that is something to consider. What happens if something happens to you, to all your stuff, everything you've done?
Mhm.
It's just, and this is just funny stuff, but like, if you and your spouse or whoever, your significant other, somebody like, if you're the only one with the passwords on half of your
Yeah.
accounts, like, just little things like that. I used, for a small period of time, I worked in a bank, and I was it was a smaller bank, but I was like a person who opened accounts and helped people. And I didn't have my license as a financial advisor, but I still help people. And one of the biggest things, the biggest, well, there's two big things I saw. One was the scams that some of
Oh,
the older people
yeah.
got really hounded on, but the second one was when family members passed or something happened, the nightmare of telling them, well, you don't have access to their
Yeah.
accounts, you can't do this, you can't do that, it has to go through the court, and then they're gonna take some money, so they're gonna tax, and so I really started. I haven't. I want to do it more because they're trying to get yeah, you got to get your affairs in order with things, but
Mhm.
there's we're not. I know this isn't about trusts or anything, but there are certain things, if you have money,
Mhm.
right, which when you put in
Mm.
retirement, you things like that, needs to happen. If you accumulate that money, you should have a way for that money to continue on and not just disappear. Because the one thing, even a little bit of money, but as it grows, one thing you will always learn, the more money, it's so funny. There's always problems with money, whether you have too much money or too little. I always want the problem of too much. Okay, that's it. But you still have a problem, and the problem is when you get more money, people want to take more. People want to take it.
But I
I
believe
mean, like
this was a rap song in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. More money, more
is
problems.
Oh, more money, more problems. That's true. That's true. I mean, you either have, and that was also something from, Robert Kiyosaki,
Mhm.
right? I mean, there's always going to be problems with
Yep.
money, but which one you want. But that's the idea. The idea, and I've learned that was we're talking about the main the
Mhm.
perpetrator here, which is the government and taxes,
Mhm.
right? The more
Mhm.
you make, the more they want, and
Mhm.
so it's just fair that you do what you can to protect it and help it grow. And I think
Absolutely.
that's what this is all about today, right? Is
It
learning when you
is.
make money, don't
Yeah.
it's on you now
Yeah.
to plan your retirement. That's a big point, right, Gabby? Like,
Mhm.
when you work for somebody, typically they will match something. If you set up a retirement and everything, they might have
Mhm.
something already that you can start investing in. But when
Mhm.
you're doing this yourself, there's no one else waiting there to tell you what to do. You don't even your tax count. And I was talking to get the other day about, we were talking yesterday maybe about, they will help you. They're numbers people, but they don't always give. They're not in the job of giving you, like, financial planning advice for
No.
retirement. That's not their point, right? You need someone to help you with that because you
Yes.
don't know what you don't know.
You also need somebody who's impartial, who,
Mm.
right, doesn't have any skin in the game. Like, so the way it works for me is I have separate accounts, right? I have my investment accounts. I have my business has its own investment accounts. If I want to draw money, I have to physically take steps to do so. It's not as easy as just going to the online banking and I have to call my advisor and I have to say, "Hey Jared, I want to do X, Y, and Z." And now he can't stop me, right? No matter what it is, at the end of the day, it's my money. I make my decisions. But he can say, "Hey, Gabby, do you want to talk about this real quick? You want to tell me what's this for? What's going on?" And we will strategize the best way to go about this. And it's important. I can't stress it enough. When I was younger, I really honestly was like, I'll never be able to do that kind of thing. There's no way. And now I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever done. Also, this is on a side note. If you're anything like me, right? Little flamboyant, little stand out in a crowd.
No,
Nothing. Yeah, me,
not
just a
that.
little bit.
Not that.
Nothing gives me more of a giggle than walking into my financial advisor's office as me and being in a room or being with people who clearly you would on the surface, right, appear to have more money, more status, more power, however you want to view that, and them looking at me like, what the hell is she doing here? And there I am just going, wouldn't you like to know? It always gives me that little smile, that little, ego boost of like, yes, I've done the right things. I've done some good things, and I'm not gonna let I don't know how stigma
Yeah.
stop me. Yeah.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
listen, you guys, we can go on forever on this stuff. So today, I really think watch this over again, start to learn, and the cool thing is it is so easily the information is so easily
It's out there.
accessible now. I mean, you don't even you can begin to learn this stuff on your own, just on the internet. I mean, there's countless videos, countless information, but as always, we recommend you find an advisor and go from there. But tomorrow, Gabby, what do we have a topic for tomorrow?
That's a good question. I don't know. Kat did make a great point. If you're retiring or leaving, your other employment to do VO full time, look into rolling over your IRA. Yes, that is very important. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. 401s as well. All of it. Look to roll it over. Um, I'm not sure where we want to take the conversation tomorrow on taxes and accounting. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground.
I think we have. I think
Yeah.
we have. Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
Maybe we'll
maybe
figure
we
something out.
talk about banking, like
Oh yeah,
reconciliation
yeah, yeah.
and
I don't think we didn't talk
bookkeeping
about
and
setting up your business bank account.
yeah.
When do you actually pay taxes?
Software,
When do
yeah,
you
all that
yes,
stuff.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
QuickBooks,
Mm,
different types of software. I think that's a
yeah.
good idea.
Okay, cool.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And again, check out, I'd put in a link up there, 50% off the first month to check out Vio's Journey. You will not be sorry, I promise. So, yeah, and Sarah, we can definitely talk again about an LLC versus an S Corp.
Mm-hmm.
Because that also does change some of this retirement planning we were talking about, right?
Yes, it does.
Because when you turn into an S Corp, now, you are an employee of your business and the business is completely separate from you, whereas a sole
Yes.
proprietor and single member, it is not separate from you. You are one and the same technically, with some protections and differences as an LLC,
Mm-hmm.
single member.
Yep.
So there'll be different types of retirement planning with that one. All right, sounds great. Make sure you check us out. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Goodbye.
guys.
Goodbye. Goodbye.